Everybody, appreciate y'all being here. Good, getting back out on the field yesterday. Getting the guys back and back in game prep mode, and so I thought they did a really nice job there last week. Had two really good practices. Mostly was good on good. Trying to keep speed. Working on just overall elements of communication, execution. And really having a big fundamental focus in regards to our growth and the development throughout that work. I thought the guys have handled the changes, some of the changes there just around the program. I think guys handled it really well. Obviously everybody has feelings about that. Coaches, players, all of us. Just anytime you do have change, but I thought they did an outstanding job of coming in, focusing on the moment, continuing to push and work, and just looking to play our best game here this week, and going to be able to put that on display. And I thought yesterday was a good start to the week, and obviously we had to have a great week in our preparation, and seeing these guys continue to grow with the opportunity that's in front of us.
First question will be Chris, front row on your left.
With regards to the last couple practices with the staff shift, how guys responded directly to the new roles of the coaches, and also just in general, how those coaches handle their new roles?
No, I think the coaches have done a good job. Some guys are in different or expanded roles from what they've been, and I think they're doing a good job in their preparation for the players, and I think the players have done a great job in their response. And at the end of the day, we're all in control of what we're willing to invest, what we're willing to do, and I think as an entire group, everybody's excited for the opportunity to go get better, and that's what our focus is. We got to go play our best game, and it starts with having the best week of prep and making sure that we're taking all elements of where we are and the areas and the urgency to go and get better. That has to show up on a daily basis, and I think our guys did a good job of that in the meeting room. I think that's is carried over to the practice field, and it's got to continue throughout this week.
We'll go to Ira, second row on your right.
With those positions that have new position coaches, is there like a main person? You mentioned last week that there'd be different people helping out, but like at safeties, is there a main person, or is it still a kind of combination?
We've assigned roles accordingly throughout the staff, throughout guys, so that they have a point of contact, and so we've got multiple guys that are helping coach and facilitate a lot of those things at each position group. So
next will be Jordan, third row on your left.
Coach, I have a couple of interview questions for you. You mentioned earlier on in the season, DJ and Roydell, they're going to be out for a period of time, but not ruled out for the season. Do those two still have a chance of playing in the final two games of the season? And if not, will they look for a medical redshirt?
Roydell, is progressing well. We're gonna, I don't expect him back this week. He still has one more game of opportunity to be able to play. We're gonna push with everything that we have to probably have him available the next week. He's still just now kind of getting back into the swing of things, and I've liked the progress. I like the work. He's done a great job. Just trying to pour into the group of running backs. I don't believe just where things are right now that DJ will be available. He's progressing. Definitely putting in a lot of work on his end of it, but he's been remarkable in the meeting room. I know I've talked to you throughout the course of the year, just the way he's been there to help kind of support the quarterbacks, obviously that position group, and obviously this team. He's been every practice been very engaged, trying to assist and help. But as he's coming back, he started getting a chance to throw the ball. A little bit, but I just don't know if it's going to progress in time. But definitely he's working every day.
Next will be Brendan, front row on your left.
Given that there are coaches in new roles or different roles, I guess how are you looking at these next couple of weeks as like an evaluation process for them to see if they can maybe stay in those roles permanently, or is that even an option?
Yeah, we all have job and responsibility, and some roles have changed, some responsibilities have expanded, and my expectation is that we go be the absolute best that we can be. I'm definitely grateful for the work our coaches are pouring in, and I definitely believe that what they'll be able to accomplish with these roles, and the expectation for what needs to show up there on game day, and as we continue to go and play these next 2 weeks. So I have no doubt that that's what we're going to get from our staff, and definitely looking forward to these guys showing all of who they are with the opportunity that they have.
All right, we'll go back to Ira on your right.
You mentioned last week, and Michael Alford mentioned in the Boosters Town Hall that you guys have had a lot of people reach out and show interest in different positions. You already have a pretty full plate. Are you like portioning time to focus on those long-term decisions, or how are you handling it?
Yeah, this last week was, there was a lot working through it, and even throughout the course of this past weekend, that was a lot of time that I poured in to that, and whether it was conversations, whether it was evaluation, where there's been a really good amount of interest in the positions, and so just kind of sequencing through what could be the right fit in each of the roles, and there will be time that I have kind of sectioned off throughout the week that I'm going to be able to have the best balance that I can have. I'm going to pour everything that I have into these players and the opportunity for the week that's ahead. But where there are moments and chances for me to focus on the coaching, whether it's search or continuing to go through that process. Obviously, I'm gonna be able to do that to the best of my abilities with that, and I think I got a great structure to be able to make that happen.
All right.
When you look at these last 2 games, particularly this game, Charleston Southern, is it more about looking at what they do, or is it more just strictly about just execution, and is that what's the focus this week?
No, it's all. This is we got to go out there, we got to play our best game, and for what they do, it's a part of we're working to put our players in the best position to go achieve success, to be able to go out and execute, and to be able to play fast, play free, and you get the opportunity to go make the play. We need to see that happen, and there's so there is you don't go into the game. Obviously, we've been studying for all things that they do, and throughout the course of the season, and you're looking at matchups, you're looking at structure, schemes, all of that, and then at the end of the day, it's upon our players, coaches, to go out there and put together the best plan that we can that fits our players, for them to go and be able to execute at a very high level.
All right, we'll come back to Brendan on your left.
For some of the open coaching roles, I guess how important will recruiting acumen or history as a recruiter be in kind of evaluating what an ideal candidate would be?
Absolutely. That's a huge part of what we're doing, and looking to be able to fill is we want the best staff of coaches that are teachers, developers, guys that have shown and proven that on the field, and then also guys that are great relationship builders. And I think when you look across college football, the statement of what a great recruiter is, it's really twofold. Somebody that can you sign them? Great. What do you do with them? And then if you got to have the relationship, you also got to have the development factor that ties into that, and then making sure that the evaluation piece of it is critical too. And I think that's one of the things that we've got to make sure that the guys that we're bringing are the right fit. With coaches, players, everybody involved, that really can embrace and help us advance in all those areas. But absolutely the recruiting piece of that, and the relationship, people that truly enjoy that aspect of this profession, and building relationships with the players is going to be critical.
Next we'll go to Kurt, front row on your right.
I think I know what you might say, but I feel like I should ask. I know Brock and Luke have basically been co-starters last week. Brock has started, but they both played plenty split time. But I know there was a change in the depth chart this week. They're actually co-starters, I guess. How are you evaluating them going into the last couple weeks? And I guess, is there a chance that Luke could start this week's game?
Well, every rep that they get, is an opportunity for them to show where they are, what they, their development, their execution. And so as both of them have played, I think it is right, because that's how they've basically approached each game. And I'm looking forward to this week. I'm looking forward to these guys coming out and competing to get better. I thought they did a really good job of that. They're in the bye week and their work. And and what I love about both those guys is the ownership of action. And there's been some challenges at playing the position this year, just with different elements of things that we've seen, things that you've had to kind of work through, the good and the bad. But they own their work, and they're passionate to go and get better. And I think they're doing a great job of what they're doing in the meeting rooms, of what they're trying to transition that and become more consistent, there on the practice field, and to see that carry over into the games is big here in these next couple weeks. So, excited about the evaluation part of it for them, and just continuing to see them grow.
Go back to Jordan on your left.
Coach, you mentioned last week that throughout the season your team has kind of faded in the second half of the games. Do you think strength and conditioning is any part of that, and have you had any conversation with Coach Dorms about changing up the strength and conditioning program a little bit this offseason?
No, I mean we've got I believe in at a very high level of our strength and conditioning program. Coach Storms has proven he's done a great job throughout the course of the years. Still when you look at your speeds, numbers, things that that translate from practice to what's showing up in games. All those things are things that are factors that I do look at, and there's a lot of things that have shown up that don't really deal as much with the strength and conditioning aspect of it when it comes to elements of our execution or things that we're doing. But we all have to push and get better, and there's not one department that whether it's strength conditioning, athletic training, coaching, all of us, we're all pushing to be the best we can be and to go and improve. So we all have ownership in it, but I definitely believe wholeheartedly in that group, and it's just it's proven through the course of time, and what they've been able to do. Obviously this year as a football team, our performance is nowhere near what any of us expect or what we desire. So I mean, we go back and evaluate, well, where are potential disconnects, where can we have maybe a bigger point of emphasis to get the desired result that we want, and that comes in every area. And so but to answer the question, no, I've got a lot of confidence in that group.
We'll go back to Ira.
Coach Shannon obviously had a role in the defense before and worked closely with Adam. Have you got any sense since the change that any maybe opinions he might have had that might have been slightly different about personnel or scheme, and whether or not those are things that could be implemented in the last couple of weeks?
I mean, yes. There's I told as Coach Shannon has now assumed the role of our interim DC. I mean, we're going to everything that we can to be the best that we've been throughout the course of the year. And if it's personnel changes, if it's different things that we can do to attack in the course of a game, I want our players to play fast. I want them to be confident in what they're doing. I want them to make sure that when they get on the field, the communication, what they're being asked from a schematic responsibility, that it's something that plays and fits to them. But I want them to be able to go out and play fast and play free to hear these next two games. And I think Coach Shannon's got a great plan for that. And obviously last week was him jumping into and assuming that role. Obviously he's had a lot of ownership in all things that we've been doing, and a lot of respect for the coach that he is and has been for this program. And now he's making the call when it comes to just some of the finer elements of the game plan and things that working to fit our personnel in this matchup, and then obviously just seeing our guys continue to grow. So I've given him the freedom to be able to have some of those subtle changes, but ultimately it's still all about our guys being able to be confident when they step on the field and be able to go out there and execute and be the best that we've been throughout this season.
All right, next will be Aslan, back right.
Coach, you mentioned last week respecting conference championship games in terms of like a timeline, but if that's not a factor, how likely or unlikely are you to have some vacancies possibly filled before the regular season ends?
I'm probably going to, out of respect for all people in the regular season, we're working through process, but, like I said, last week, I mean, ideally, when the regular season ends, I'd like to be able to, have a really strong direction of where it's going, and, there might be guys that could potentially continue to be playing where, either announcements, agreements that are made. We'll see if that's potential options. There could be guys that assume roles really quick after the season ends. So that's kind of, there's still a lot of ebb and flow as decisions are made on who's going to take those positions, and obviously all the conversations that surround that.
All right, we'll come back to Chris, front row on your left.
As you approach the offseason, how do you view restructuring the front office stretch of it? And the town hall meeting that I referenced earlier, they talked about evaluation being more important and things of that sort. As it changes with the health summit, how do you view the front office changing alongside that?
I mean, I think when you look at all parts of the program, I mean, there's different dynamics that are going to be new with the revenue sharing, with that on deck. I think when you look at roles, responsibilities, the personnel, structure of it is something that we definitely want to continue to enhance, to make sure that we're able to fill the needs, and also make sure that we are doing the best job of our evaluations on multiple levels, whether it's within our roster, whether it's a high school level in recruiting, whether it's the transfer world. Just make sure that we have the personnel that's necessary, and having that structured to where we can be as efficient and effective as possible, because obviously high school recruiting, that stretches over years, and when it comes to who's available in the portal, what that ends up becoming. I mean, it's an absolute sprint whenever it comes to that level of the evaluation. So make sure that we're doing our due diligence throughout the course of all levels of that process, and having the right personnel structured to be able to be as efficient but also as effective as we possibly can be.
All right, we'll end with Ira.
I just want to specifically about the offensive line. You mentioned guys handling the changes, but that position is one where there's multiple guys who've been here for a long time with one position coach, and on the one hand they're probably more mature than some other guys, but on the other hand that relationship is so tight. Have you spent any extra time with those guys? How have those, especially the veterans, how have they handled it?
Yeah, I mean, I think they've handled themselves really well, and I mean, in all reality, I mean, there's a lot of ownership within this program. I mean, it's players, coaches. Obviously, anytime you make a change, I mean, there's nothing easy about that. Nothing easy about it for the staff. Nothing easy about that for the players. And players take accountability to it as well. And that's where for them to even you work through the emotion of change. And when you have great relationships, and I thought our coaches, I mean, they did. I mean, they poured into these players. Obviously, the on the field results of this year have not been what any of us desire, and changes were made. But I mean, there's the players take a lot of accountability to that too, and helping them understand. Well, this is we are where we are, but you have the opportunity of today, and what are you going to do with today to honor the work of those that have helped you throughout your journey, that have helped get you here, that have helped provide the stage that you get to go play this game on. I mean, they might not be with you here now, but you can still honor that by the work and the performance and the growth that you show, and and that's something that I think those guys they really care about each other, and I've really been proud of, especially the older players. How they kind of poured into the younger guys, and even the younger players, which they all have emotions, but I mean, even for the younger players that maybe this is the first time they've ever been a part of a change, and just how to kind of work through that and make sure that you can stay focused on the task that's at hand, control the things that you ultimately can control, and just be there to support each other, through the work, through the continued investment in relationship, and just working through, what is a challenging situation. But I've really been proud of our players and how they've handled themselves in that.
All right, thank you, Coach.
And I do want to take, before y'all, one thing I do want to recognize, this week is our Seminole Heritage, game, and, so we're definitely, excited, and honored for the opportunity that we get to represent the Seminole Tribe of Florida, and, for what they mean to this program, this university. I mean, it is, I've had the opportunity to build many great relationships, with members of the Seminole Tribe, and it has been, really special. And, as we go out this week, we understand that, this is, it's a football game, but it's a lot more than just a game. And, definitely, look forward to honoring the Seminole Tribe of Florida, and obviously all the heritage of that with how we play here this week. All right, thank you guys.
Thanks, Coach.